Hey folks, Mike here with a long shot, and today we're talking about electronic levels for long range shooting. There's really only two names in the game, and that's the LRA SendIt level from MDT and the newer SG Pulse from Shooters Global. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the features of both to help you decide which one might be right for you to make sure you don't miss because your rifle is canted. Let's go. All right, before we get into it, I ask that you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That's the best way and a no-cost way that you can go ahead and help me grow this channel to bring you better and better content each week. If you enjoy the video, hit that like button as well. Oh, excuse me, smash that thumbs up button as well. All right, so here I have my 6 Creed PRS gun. This is mounted in an ACC Elite chassis system. If you are into the long range shooting game, you understand that your level has to be, your rifle has to be level if you expect to be on target at extreme distances or even just mid-range distances. This is a problem that grows and grows the further you get down range. If you cant your rifle, basically your point of aim and point of impact are going to be offset, and your math is going to be wrong of where to aim and where you're going to hit. Bubble levels have been around for a long time, but honestly, if you expect to level your rifle on the clock or even within a reasonable amount of time with a bubble level, that's a little bit challenging. A few companies have come out with electronic levels. The MDT LRA SendIt level and the SG Pulse. Shooters Global is a company out of Poland. I had the chance to meet some of them at SHOT Show this year, which was really fun. And they are coming out with potentially more innovative products than MDT. Now today, just as kind of a spoiler alert, I'm not going to tell you which one I think is better because they almost have different applications. However, I do kind of want to focus on the SG Pulse today because I think this is a very strong offering for something that is coming in even cheaper than the MDT LRA SendIt. They both have new offerings coming out this year. I don't know about the MDT if they're going to discontinue the old one as they launch the new SendIt level. However, I do know that Shooters Global is going to keep the SG Pulse, which you can see mounted here on this rifle, available while they still launch the SG Pulse Pro, which is going to be in a new price class but have a lot more features. First, let's talk about the MDT LRA SendIt level. I also would like to disclose my relationship with both of these companies so that you know I'm here giving you the facts as I see them and calling out any bias I may have towards one or the other. I am an MDT dealer. While being a dealer is not my primary thing, I do like to build custom rifles with MDT products. And generally, I feel very positively towards that company. So I bought my MDT LRA SendIt levels at the dealer discount. They haven't provided me anything for free. I paid my own money, but it was a bit of a discount, and I do, sell those to customers. Shooters Global did send me this SG Pulse at no cost to me. Now, when that happens with the YouTube channel, I don't agree to give a positive review. I just agree to do the review or to show it in a video. So I hope to give you my best unbiased opinion today, even though I received this at no cost. If you want to buy either of these, I'm not really selling anymore. I am closing down my business to basically focus on the YouTube channel so that I can spend all of my energy filming and getting you the best video possible. So if you want to buy either of these, go to ParamountTactical.com. Gary is a new and great friend of mine that is helping support the channel in various ways. Subscribe to his YouTube as well. Very informative, especially if you want to learn the end-all be-all way to mount a rifle scope. So if you want either of these, go to ParamountTactical.com, support their store. That supports my channel, that supports his channel, so go ahead and purchase it from there. All right, first the MDT LRA SendIt. This has been around for a while and I've been shooting this for about a year at a $229.95 price point as of February 2025. A little bit more expensive, but we'll see this on almost every single rifle out of PRS Math. It's very effective, and I can't claim to understand the details of how electronic levels work, but this seems very precise. You can mount it to your Picatinny rail basically turn it on and go. It has one knob to interface with. You use that knob to change the sensitivity levels or the light levels on that. This works very well. If this is all that existed, you wouldn't be left wanting for anything, in my opinion. However, with the intro of the SG Pulse, it does now seem a little bit slimmer on the features and the configurability compared to this newer offering. The MDT Sendit level comes in a standard configuration where it kind of sticks out from the gun straight. You can mount it in other various configurations, but the downside with the MDT is that you have to buy additional mounts. So I always have people asking, you know, does this come with a 90-degree mount so it can mount more flat to the gun? You know, can you mount that in the Crush It timer, which you can actually see right here? Oh, that's a little loose. Which you can actually see right here on my rifle. Can you mount that on the same thing so we don't have all these different mounts that we have to fit together? While there are MDT solutions and aftermarket solutions for those, they do cost extra money. So I think the basic like 90-degree mount is like another 40 to 60 bucks. And you know, that's kind of unfortunate. I really wish that came with the capability out of the box. The Sendit level, very high quality. Again, you can adjust the sensitivity of how level it needs to be to give you that green light. You can adjust the light sensitivity, but that's about it. And it doesn't come out of the box with any of those mounting solutions. So the standard mount or configuration is kind of just sticking straight out like that. And I'll show a picture of that since I don't have it on my rifle right now. So that's all I really have to say about the Sendit level. It's very dependable and very awesome, but kind of a basic feature set, which some people might enjoy. If you just want to slap it on your rifle, turn it on and go, don't want to have to worry about anything else, that may be the option for you. Or if you're using a Crush It timer on your rifle for timed matches, you may want that can also mount with the Crush It on an aftermarket mount and get them nice and tight together so you only have one Picatinny mount. Looking at the SG Pulse from Shooters Global, this thing took a little while to get used to messing with a level and calibrating settings and things like that, but it actually has a very robust feature set for a $159.99 level. Let's talk a little bit about those features. First of all, and this is standard, I don't think you can change it, it already comes mounted kind of in a configuration that is a lot more tighter to the rifle than the LRA SendIt level. There are a couple of different modes. There's a stability mode and a basic leveling mode that you can toggle and turn on just by hitting the button, which is the same as where the light is emitted from. You can adjust the light sensitivity settings, and you also have a lot more control over the leveling sensitivity settings, which I really like. At first I was a little stressed out about it because sometimes having control over all of these, you know, you kind of just want to outsource it, slap it on and go. There's a lot of things to worry about when you are going to shoot a match. You know, there's 1,000 things to remember, and you know, all of us are probably stressing and hoping our reloads are going to work, you know, things like that. So I didn't really want to worry about calibrating a level. Last weekend I shot a DMR match. If you've been following my DMR 6 Max series, you know I've been really getting into the DMR style matches, which are gas gun. Well, you can shoot a bolt gun, but they're, you know, I shoot a gas gun for that. It's a lot of fast and quick engagements, but they did stretch us out to 700 yards, and you really have to make sure your rifle is level when you're shooting out that far. Generally speaking, anything over 400 or 500, depending on the target size, I'm really going to start looking at that level to make sure I'm dead on before I pull that trigger. Anyways, going back to the SG Pulse, since I was shooting a DMR style, I know they're going to push you to shoot in a little bit more kind of difficult and uneasy positions compared to PRS. You know, sometimes you're shooting off of like dirty, dusty tree stumps, or last 2 matches ago we shot out of like a rocking boat simulator, which was pretty interesting. I was able to go into the app and actually increase the sensitivity to say if I was within 1 degree of dead level that I would get that green light from the SG Pulse. I thought, you know, based on not shooting past 700 yards, based on a little bit larger target size and really fast engagements, not having to just shoot 1 bullet per 1 target, and if you miss, move on. You know, if you miss, you can actually re-engage. It's all about how quickly you hit all the targets. There's no round limit, basically. You know, knowing that, I actually went into it with that 1 degree basically, success criteria for the level going into that DMR match. The SG Pulse is also really cool because it has a level mode where you can just use it as a level, which is kind of cool. And I guess technically you can use LRA SendIt level like that as well. But this, you can open the app on your phone, stick on your scope, and now you can actually use it to mount your scope. And you can see in the app on both axes exactly how level you are, which is really cool. You do want to calibrate this out of the box. I mean, I guess you can trust that it's calibrated, but what you can't trust is that, your mounting surface on the rail, when you mount this on your rail, is perfectly level. So what I did was I actually just used my standard Wheeler scope mounting kit, bubble level. I mount the scope, I trust it, I know it's level. I've done all that testing and everything. And basically you mount it where you want it to live for your shooting, and then get your gun or your scope level, however you want to do that. Basically put a bubble level up here, and then went in the app and saw it was a few tenths of a degree off. Again, I don't think that's a problem with the level. I think that's probably a problem with the mounting surface. And then you just hit calibrate. You really want to make sure you're level before you do that, because you're kind of resetting the truth on that. But then you can mount it and be confident to know, hey, I've checked it, and it's good to go. All of those features are integrated with the Shooters Global app, and you can pull that up and see all those details, set all those sensitivity, increase the light, everything like that. I would say that's a downside, that you have to manage it through an app, but everybody's got smartphones these days. So there are a bunch of other features on the app as well, not related to the SG Pulse. They also have a shot timer that integrates with the app. You can film yourself shooting and everything like that. I don't have that. I haven't really messed with the app, and I don't think that's relevant to the video. Now, what I would say about the SG Pulse is it's a little bit more difficult to tell how much I need to tilt or which way I need to tilt. So obviously practice goes a long way. If you're seeing blue or seeing red, you should know which way you need to tilt it. If you're seeing blue, that means you're canted right. If you're seeing red, that means you're canted left. And there are little light indicators within the bigger light that tell you basically how close you are to that level, but it took some getting used to. Comparing it back to the SendIt level, where you just have those 5 dots, if you're super far left, you have, 2 lights on the left side. If you're super far right, and those kind of walk their way in as you get closer. So it's a lot more intuitive, I would say, than the SG Pulse. However, that's not a huge drawback. While running this thing, I was able to see, like, okay, I need to go left and get it. Maybe I would pass and then get back to green. So not a huge downside, nothing that would make this like unusable, but just a comparison of the intuitiveness difference between the SG Pulse compared to the SendIt level. Now, it does have a stability mode, which kind of tells you how stable and how much you're moving. I have not played with that, so I think that's really cool, but I kind of want to de-stress. Like, it's hard enough for me to remember to check level before I pull that shot off, so I'm not yet exploring that, and I don't want to speak to that in this video because I haven't messed with it enough to be able to explain it to you or tell you how I like it. Oh, one more thing that I forgot. The SG Pulse is a rechargeable unit compared to the LRA SendIt level that takes a battery. Now, honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about either. I have extra SendIt batteries so that if it were to not turn on before a match, I can just swap that out. That's kind of nice. So even though you're worrying about the battery going dead, you can just fix that in an instant. If I let this go dead, I'm not really sure that I can remediate that like right, within a few minutes before I shoot a stage or a match. I would kind of have to go like plug it back in at my truck or something like that and miss a couple stages and then bring it back out. That said, it's super easy to charge. It has a nice little dongle that clips into the back accessory port. I believe the charge lasts a really long time. I haven't charged it yet. I've been messing with it for a couple of weeks. And I think you can see the battery level. Well, let's see. Oh yeah, you can definitely see the battery level on the app. Oh, and one more thing, this actually will give you an indication of how level you are up and down this way. So it does, 2-axis leveling, not just the 1-axis like the MDT Sendit does. So overall, I kind of am talking about both, doing a little comparison, but this is really about the SG Pulse because I think it's the newer offering. You're going to start seeing this on more and more rifles coming up here. And again, I don't want to tell you one is better than the other. I'm still going to keep running both. I have the Sendit level. I have, now I have an SG Pulse. I think they're a little bit different applications. If you are someone who doesn't want to mess with anything, you just want to mount it to your rifle and go. No, you're not going to practice with it. You're not going to mess with it and tune it. I would say go with the Sendit level. I know it's a little bit more expensive, but I really like the usability of slapping that on the rifle, turning it on and going. Just kind of dialing the brightness there in the moment and not having to go on an app or anything like that. It is a little bit more expensive. However, if you really like all the features that we talked about here today on the SG Pulse, this could be really awesome, and it's especially at a lower price point. You don't have to get a 90-degree mount to get it tighter to your rifle. You can use it to mount scopes, you can calibrate it, you can tune it depending on the style of shooting you're doing. If you're doing ELR, maybe you want like 0.1 degree green signal to know that you're not canted at all. That could really be huge in longer and longer range applications. So I think that it is cool that this has a lot more features and is cheaper, but you really have to want to use those features in order for them to be valuable. So I would say if you are a no frills person, get a Sendit level and a couple extra batteries, throw them in your pack, and you're good to go forever. You never have to worry about anything. If you are really excited about the features, or maybe you just really need to save money over the LRA SendIt, then the SG Pulse is for you. I don't think you'll be upset with either offering, but I'm really excited to see something enter into the competitive electronic level market at a lower price point instead of just coming in above and having that, I guess, electronic level inflation from big levels. I don't know. So I'm really excited to see that. Go check out my video from SHOT Show on Shooters Global. They have a couple other new products coming out. That's a quick demo of the SG Pulse Pro, which has a timer and dope card integrated at a higher price point. And then also we have the MDT booth video from SHOT Show, which talks about the MDT LRA SendIt next generation. Both of these are going to come standard with the cables and the ocular mount for your scope, so that you can get that dot, the Sendit or no Sendit dot right in your eye, and not that you pull your head off that far, and not have to look out to the left side of your scope to shoot. A lot of people like those ocular mounts. They're both coming stock with the next generation of each version. MDT's is staying at the same price. Shooters Global is going up a bit because they're giving you a timer, dope card, and an LED ocular light, not a fiber optic ocular housing lights as well. So still kind of, they have a little bit different features and the price points are changing a little bit. So I'm excited to see how we develop through 2025. But I would not hesitate to get one of these. I think it's really cool. And like I said, I don't mean this to be a competitive which is best, trashing one or the other. I just kind of wanted to talk about the different features of each to help you understand which one you might want to get. If you want either of those, go to ParamountTactical.com. Please go ahead and subscribe. I hope you enjoy this video. If you want to see levels in action and how far you can miss left or right, drop that down below. If you guys just accept that as truth and don't really need to see that, then I'll do a more interesting video. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on The Long Shot. Take care.